Hello and good evening and welcome to Are You Brave? Me, your host for this evening. And tonight we are not at any locations. We are in the studio and we're going to be talking about the activity at some of the locations that we visit. Quite exciting. Anyway, Trudy's not on tonight, so there won't be a show afterwards. So shall we get started and get the guys in the studio?
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, very well, thank you. Ever so good in yourself?
How about you, Andy? Yeah, good. Bit tired from last night, bit washed out, but it's been good.
Apart from last night, but yeah, no, but good, thank you.
Absolutely. So if everybody that's watching, if you could like, share and bump up those arts, we would be greatly appreciative. If I could get the word. Right, Andy, what shall we talk about tonight?
Well, I thought what we would do is, if it's okay with everyone that's watching, we did 3 new locations last night and they were all brand new locations for us, so first time. And they're all locations that we're going back to. So I thought it'd be quite good if we could just, just tell everyone how good they were and just kind of just do like a little review thing about sort of like the nights, because all 3 locations performed brilliantly. We had real epic. I was at Rochford Halls. We're hoping that Craig's going to join us in a little bit, and he was at Gosport. So, but it was good. So, how was your night at St John's? So, St John's House, is that the right name for it?
Yes, St John's House in Warwick. It was amazing. I tell you what, the guests, absolutely every single person. I tell you what, we couldn't have asked for better guests last night because they all joined in. They all pulled the sleeves up, and they all had like we couldn't complain. And the location itself is absolutely amazing.
Is it?
So we had some good activity. Yeah.
So it's a museum, but what was it always? It's not always been a museum. It's not like.
Sorry, Andy, could you repeat that because I couldn't hear you?
Yeah, sorry. It's a museum, but is it a purpose-built museum or has it been something else before?
It's a museum for the Warwick Fusiliers or something like that. I think it used to be a school as well. So yeah.
So was a lot of the activity that you picked up about like military then?
Yeah, there was a lot of military, and it was a mixture of things. So when I was doing a spirit box session with one of the guests, we managed to get, and it just come out over the spirit box. It come out as Warwick 26 Fusiliers.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, that's good.
So, which was amazing. It was and it said 26 Regiment as well. So.
Well, that's pretty good proof, isn't it? So who was you crewing with last night?
Absolutely, and it all come out in the spirit box sessions, which was amazing. Last night I was with Dee.
That's good. So
there was the old crew was myself, Dee, Willie Stewart, Rich Stokes. Was there anyone else?
Lisa.
And Lisa Parkhurst. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was the full.
So you had some good
crew.
Yes. So you had some good, like, proper core members of the Midlands crew there last night.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I was just having a look at St John's, seeing as I'm the old historian, I thought I'd bring a little bit on there. It used to be a school, a hospital, a residence, public service, but there's so much history at that place. Over 900 years old, that building.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes. I took a picture of it as well last night.
Yeah, over 900.
Well, I took quite a few photos, so I need to send those over to you.
Okay, brilliant. So the hospital part of that, how long ago was that, Dan?
That was 12th century.
Oh my gosh.
During the reign of Henry II. It had 2 purposes: to help the local poor and ill, and to provide casual overnight boarding to pilgrims and travellers.
Oh, wow. See, that place doesn't look that old, does it?
No, it really doesn't.
I mean,
It doesn't.
it looks old.
When you get
It looks
inside,
old.
Oh, did you see the cemetery over there, Ames?
I didn't go to the cemetery. No,
Maybe
I didn't see
the
it.
old hospital site had a cemetery on it as well. Maybe it's
Oh,
remains have often been dug up during refurbishment or remodeling works. Brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah.
No flies in the soup there, just bone.
So what? No, that's right. No, that's absolutely true. So, did you get anything about like its previous use in any of the evidence in last night?
We got some of the things with the school.
Yeah.
So there was children. Some of the mediums they picked up on children, and so did some of the guests as well, which was interesting. So that was quite good. And I think someone even mentioned monk. So
Oh, did they?
I'm sure. Yeah, and apparently it's been mentioned before as well.
Okay. So what are the like the kind of the resident
But
hauntings of that place?
we didn't ask the lady to give us too much about the history, but she did mention the military and obviously the children and that, and she mentioned the hospital as well. So she said that also some people have mentioned monks there as well, and dark masses and black figures and that lot.
Ames, was
Oh, we've
there
got
anything
somebody knocking on
particular?
the door.
I'm just having a look at some bits and some bits and bobs, and there's a lot speaking about like dramatic temperature changes. Did you pick up anything on the equipment around like mass temperature change?
There was temperature change. It started to go very warm, and I think there was something to do with a fire
Yeah,
there
there
as
was.
well.
Yeah.
Hey, Craig.
Good evening, Di. Hello, Craig.
How we doing? All right.
Hi. How are you?
I'll turn it up that way. That's better.
That's better. We can see you.
Hello.
You're
How are you
right.
doing?
Yeah, great. Yeah,
Brilliant.
tired, but we're all right.
Yeah.
Why would you be tired? Where have you been?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to?
Tell us all about it. I'm jealous because I wasn't anywhere last night, so I've just come on for the gossip more than anything.
All down. All down.
Yeah, we did the isolation hospital in Gosport.
Yeah.
We had some
absolute fantastic place.
in the 3 years that I've obviously 4 years I've been with Craig, but 3 years that I've sort of been coming along with GHT. Absolutely the most phenomenal event, location, so many different areas that we covered last night, in as much as scrying, automatic writing, Ouija, table tipping, ghost box. Every person that was there last night has left with with an experience. There wasn't one dull moment there, and the time just literally flew past. And the host at the event, he was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Top bloke. I just was blown away. Absolutely blown away.
Yeah, we had some of the regular public that came to visit us. They sort of like did a lot of travelling to come up and see us last night. And who was it? Julie, wasn't it?
Julie and Natalie. Yeah. Poor Julie. I don't think she's ever had abuse like it in her life.
She was physically, well, sort of like verbally attacked.
Yeah.
And it was off the scale. Towards the back end of the evening, the last vigil we did was in the morgue. So I took my group in there. Absolutely, from beginners to people that have done it before, all the way through the night. everybody was like 110%. But we were in the morgue and we were doing the ghost box, and we had a woman spirit who was really aggressive, and she was not letting this guy speak to us. So I told her to go away, and she shut all of my kit down. And I thought like all of the batteries and that had died on it, but my ghost box completely turned off, and you got to press and hold the button for about 4 or 5 seconds. I thought the batteries had died on it, and just everything went off. And it was like, so we had to virtually restart everything back up. So I got the power pack out, and it was still on 50-odd%. So, but it was, absolutely amazing venue.
Yeah,
So
and
what?
I was sorry, darling, and obviously, Cassie. Well, it was really, really weird because Cassie obviously came down and was crewing with us, and so was Joe. We met Joe last night. You know, really, really good experience. And on the way down, Cassie sort of her hearing went as if she was underwater. You know, when you're in a plane and you take off and your ears pop and then you can hear your vibration. She had that for hours. About an hour before we were due to leave my house, all of a sudden I felt like I can't go. I don't feel well. I feel actually physically drained, sick, exhausted. And I was like, right, Craig, you drive down, I'll drive back. And I sort of had a 40-minute sleep in the back of the car. And then when we were about 3.5 miles away from the venue, we pulled up at a petrol station. Craig just got out of the car and he looked at me. He says, "You're going to have to drive the rest of the way." And I said, "What's the matter?" And he said, I've got a vertigo attack about to start.
Wow.
I feel like I've got vertigo."
Yeah.
Now, all 3 of us were affected. And as the evening progressed, all 3 of us sort of like, I kept checking, "You all right? You're all right? You're all right?" But the evening went so quickly, and when we left there, all 3 of us were perfectly fine. Cassie's hearing came back. He didn't feel bad. I was buzzing. Unbelievable. The whole experience was unbelievable. I've never ever had it that it affected all 3 of us.
That's so strange.
It was really weird. Really, really weird.
So you said about like Julie got affected and got abused. What do you mean?
Right, we were running a ghost box session.
Yeah.
Set out three areas. First time that we've done it, because one of the areas didn't have any doors between the rooms, so I thought you're just going to interfere with each other. So we used that as one area, and it was the main gym. We used an outside area, and then we used which used to be part of the old hospital down at the other end. So we had 3 good areas. Took the first group, which had Julie, Ricky. Who else was in there?
You had Julie, Ricky, Brendan, Andy, that started out with you way back in the day. Brendan and Adette, Chelsea, and I can't remember what their...
Yeah, they came to the Guildhall sandwich.
Yeah. So Brendan was there in that group. And obviously Ricky, bless his heart. You had Ricky and Elaine and Alice as well in that group.
Well, I've got a pumped up group to start with, and the area that when I did my walk around, sort of like as soon as I got there, it seemed to be the less of the active rooms. So, or there was 2 of the areas and that lot were you could just walk in and you could cut it with a knife. But this one seemed absolutely sort of quite low key, so I thought we'll go there, and it'd be a good base to me to stir it up at the beginning of the evening. Boy, did we stir it up! We started off in the left-hand room of the gym, put the ghost box on, got everybody to stand round in the circle. The ghost box was in the middle. Instantly, we've got like it was like a military guy with the boots walking round, but it was actually coming out of the box. As I'm walking around the outside of the circle, the footsteps are going around. We picked up so much in that one room, so I split that part of the vigil and said, right, we'll go over into the other room and see what we can get. So we put a grid pen through doorways between 2 sections of the gym. We put the grid pen there, had all fresh batteries and that in it, and as we're looking through the doorways, we had two red eyes looking from the far end of the room back at us. Absolutely amazing. It's just like stuff like that there's just no way you're going to make it up, and we tried everything to try and debunk it. Then I switched over and used the new Steve Huff app, and so during the evening we were running the ghost box for the first part of the evening, and then what we were finding was using the miracle box, we were actually fine tuning everything. And I was like desperate to get somebody to go and stand on their own in the other room. And so I said to Ricky, I said, do you want to go in there? And he's like, we're going to fall out. So Natalie was sat next to me, and I said, right, let's ask the box then. So we were using the box. I slid the slider across, come back, and we're waiting for an answer on who we want to go out. And I thought it said Natalie to start with. And she's like, Craig, we will seriously fall out if you make me go up that end on my own. So, and it's just nobody wanted to go in there. There was so much coming from that first room, but we were getting a lot of activity from the second room. And then I said, who do you want to go up there? And then it come out with Julie. And then it called her the C word. It called her a witch.
Yeah.
Really it was just nasty. A whole barrage of abuse to one person.
Yeah. But she had that in my group near the mortuary, near the morgue. She was doing automatic writing with Natalie and Brendan and the birthday boy. And it again came through witch. It was just abuse to Julie, even in automatic writing. We had an experience, again, with that same group with Ricky and everybody else. And it was just, yeah, Ricky's there. All right, Ricky. It was just amazing. And to be honest, the three areas in which we investigated, the one that the gym was very well, they were all active, but the one that was the most scariest was the woods outside. Absolutely, a lot of people were scared, and we got a lot of photographic evidence, and it's like people were like, oh my god, I'm being touched, and what's that there? And even in one of the photographs that was taken, I am stood doing human pendulum with three ladies. The photographs,
Joe was there as well,
and I think it's Joe took the photos. Where I am stood, I'm actually not in the photographs at all. It is just a grey cloud. It looks like a flash. And I'm actually stood there with my uniform on, and you can't see me. You cannot physically see me. Everybody experienced something, and even scrying in the gym mirrors and stuff. People afterwards were like, did not know. Just they were like, we didn't know what we were going to come across, or how you were going to communicate and things. Everybody was Andy. Everybody had something, and everybody didn't want to leave at the end of the night. They just wanted to keep talking about the whole experiences that they'd had, which that's what it's all about.
Because like last night, one of the key things I always say when we're doing the intro and that lot is I want everybody to give 100%. Last night was the first time I'd forgotten to say that.
Yeah.
And boy, they gave more than that. It was 110%, and it was sort of like, but there wasn't anybody, because we had quite a few. I think it was 28 people, because we had 2 extras turn up.
Yeah.
And out of the 28 people that turned up, it was phenomenal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like, you couldn't have asked for an absolute perfect group.
No.
As well.
I mean, you guys have got some great reviews this morning on that night that you did. Brendan, I mean, yourself, Craig, because you've been with us. Reviews. Yeah, you've been with us since GHT started, and Brendan was on our very, very first event, I think. So he wrote to me to tell me like it was absolutely awesome. He's done a lot of paranormal events himself, and he actually wrote such a kind thing. He said that we are the best group, or actually, sorry, I'm trying to take the credit for that. It's nothing to do with me. It's you. You group, most professional and everything like that he's ever been with, and he just literally just said it's you are the best in the game. So well done, mate. That's brilliant.
Yeah, cool. Well, as a credit to the crew as well, because like everybody held their ground last night, and it's sort of like because we generally we don't normally do stuff outside, and but it was just with the location. And when you turn up, it was sort of like the building was it was really sort of like old looking and that.
Yeah.
And you sort of like you got mixed thoughts on like what are you going to get here, and but I had a chat with was it Mike, the owner? Was it Mike? Matt.
Matt.
Yeah, I had a chat with Matt, and he gave me a walk round and that lot, and he sort of like showed me where all the lights and powers and that stuff, sort of like stuff like that. Absolutely phenomenal guy as well. So you couldn't have had a nicer sort of like host to get us started there.
Well, we was asked this morning, sort of by another crew member, what was your first impression when you walked? I said, when I drove up and I thought, oh my God, it's like a set of The Walking Dead, or waiting for the dueling banjos to start playing Deliverance, because it was like there's a tent in the middle of the field, in the middle of the woods, and waiting for somebody to come out with a machete or a sawn-off shotgun. It was awful. But Matt, I had when I sort of walked, because it was Julie and Natalie had travelled up by coach to the Fareham coach station, and Cassie and I went and collected him from there. And when we got back, Cassie and I both went and had a wander around to see, all the areas. And I actually sat in the gym with Matt, and all of a sudden his dad came through, and I actually sat giving Matt messages, and he was like, how did you know that? And he was like, hold on a minute, that's my dad. That even the terminology that I used and said to him, like 1961, what's 1961? And he went, that's when my dad bought this and set the gym up. And I said, I've got a ring. I said, boxing ring. I said, but it's not boxing. He said, it's a wrestling ring. Dad used to train wrestlers. All of this, unbelievable experience. And it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
But he wrote to me this morning as well, because I always thank people for like having us and everything like that. And he wrote to me this morning to say what an awesome group you were, and you're going to start filling up emotionally in a minute. He said that you were the most professional and the best group that he's ever had there. So well done.
Oh.
Again,
we do put a lot of work into sort of like when we get there, and making the Joe helped out a lot last night as well. So credit to Joe as well.
Yeah.
She sort of like set up for like the tea and coffee making.
Yeah.
And I was getting, because even like the hub room, because we went in, Cassie was coming in and she was just going off to put a GHT jumper on, and Joe had just gone out. Cassie had just gone into the morgue to change her jumper, and I was like, we'll use the morgue and the gym and the outside, because this room doesn't feel that good. And just as they go out the door, the world's largest crack went straight across the room. I thought the roof had cracked. It was that bad. And but yeah,
Wow.
it was, but yeah, we put a lot of effort in that into last night, and it didn't, as I say, sort of like all the effort we put in came back sort of like 1,000-fold, really, didn't it?
It to the point that it was so lovely. The time just literally each vigil, it just shot. It just raced. You as soon as you started, it was like, we've got to get back now. You run over again, Di, by 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh God, let's get you a cup of tea in that. But it was so nice having such active guests. And like we said, there was 8 newbies there, and afterwards they all came up and they were like, explain to us how that works and how that works, and what bit of kit do you suggest. It was just phenomenal, Andy. And as like we always say, GHT, we are a family. Obviously we are a crew. We all work side by side, and if if one crew needs support, like coming down to Kent or Surrey, or obviously up with my Midlands girls, Craig's Angels with Cassie, Amy, and Dee. It is a pleasure in actually working and being able to work with anybody. And we're all on the same platform. It's like I said to you, Danny. Everybody has got the ability. And the first time I ever met you, I was like, right, Danny, you can do this, this, and this. You just need to do this, this, and this. And look how much you flourished. It is.
That feels so long
Everybody
ago.
needs to
That was
support
Dover.
everybody.
That was Dover. That feels so long ago.
Yeah, yeah. And Steve, it's, and everybody still remembers. Whatever events you go on, people still remember evidence from 2-3 years ago. And even last night when we were talking about St. Augustine with Natalie with her Polaroid pictures, do you remember, Andy, with when the guest was sat in front up in the dormitories?
Yeah.
And Natalie was like, they were my photographs. And people were like, well, explain it to us. And she was telling them, they were like, never. And I was like, there it is. There it is. And, well, just brilliant. Just brilliant.
You had some awesome guests there last night, though. You had a lot of our real regulars. I'm a little bit envious, to be honest with you, because you got to spend some decent time with some real decent people. So a little bit jealous there.
Yeah.
Where were you last night, Andy? Did you go to Rochford last night?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, actually, I've just got to say, just when Craig and Di were talking, I had a little chuckle to myself when they talked about Cassie going into the morgue to get changed. I thought that was quite funny.
There was a great big
She said she didn't want to go in there.
No, there was a great big step down there. When you walk in, well, this would have freaked you, Danny. When you walk in, it's all painted black. Amy, what is your worst nightmare? Every wall had a mirror.
Mirrors in the dark.
Yeah, I don't do mirrors.
Every wall had a mirror, my lovely. And
Mirrors in the dark.
And in the middle of it is a table set up with chairs around it with a Ouija board in the middle of it. So it's like, not my board. I'm not participating. We turned the planchette over. Ricky, if you're there, or Elaine, or one of the gang that was actually in there with me, Adette, you were in there with me, and Chelsea. All of a sudden, we looked up and there was cobwebs everywhere. Yeah, cobwebs everywhere. And I said, don't take no notice of the cobwebs, because the spirit was going amongst us all, and you could feel like the essence of spirit. It's the sensation of cobwebs. And we did a Victorian seance in there, and I said, right, everybody, I just want you to concentrate on my voices. And we connected every single person. Come on, Ricky, back me up. Annadette, we connected them to their spirit guide and their spirit animal for protection, because I don't know what's happened in there, because I think there's some sort of satanic stuff that had happened, the boards hadn't been shut down.
We had a lot about witches and that last night as well.
A lot of stuff
every
was
location
there,
I did,
and it was quite intense.
Yeah,
totally intense.
Yeah,
but
yeah. We had in the gym, especially first location I did. We had 4 demons in there.
Diablo, even on the automatic writing. Yeah, Diablo.
And there was
up time and time again.
When we managed to get the box to talk to one of them, the voice that come through was like nothing like you've heard talking before.
Yeah.
It was talking, but it was just like horrible. It was really, really horrible. And it's
bless her. I hope you feel all right today, Dare. I hope your legs was okay, sweetheart, because that was a huge step down. Sorry, guys, but yeah, it was just, everybody was amazing.
Yeah.
Can't express that any more than what we did.
I did have one apology though. there was the world's largest spider in front of the toilets. First break, and I'm in the gym where there's the one toilet that everybody's got a queue for, and Incy Wincy Spider came down the wall, and I've never seen so many people shift. I thought it was going to carry someone off. And it's like nobody would go in the loos. It stood right in the doorway, so you couldn't get in there.
We were actually my last group in the gym.
Being a bit of a bouncer.
Yeah, Ames, my last group in the gym, we're doing human pendulum, and we've literally only got the red light. And all of a sudden, poor Kelly, one of the guests, she stood there and she went, just happened to look down, and she went, I said to her, whatever's wrong? And I looked, and all you could see was the spider. And that was it. Me being me, don't give a damn. Whop! They had a size 7 Nike trainer straight on it. Bye-bye. And they were like, can't believe you just done that. I said, can't stop this investigation. Keep going. Oh, it was so funny. So funny. But yeah, brilliant. Brilliant.
It sounds
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it sounds good. So I reckon that we should go back, but I reckon that we need to see some thumbs up to see if people want us to go back. Really, what do you reckon?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Because we said to everybody,
give us some thumbs up, and then we'll get it sorted.
Yeah, we said to everybody, Andy, that you know, are you brave enough? GHT every Sunday, 8 o'clock. Go back on YouTube, look at previous investigations that we did. You know, you'll meet all the other crew members. You know, and obviously the bosses are there. We also did Trudy. You know, after Are You Brave Enough? Yeah, we did, and obviously we promoted the centre as well, Amy, and anything else that's coming up. Obviously next Saturday we are down with Steve,
Sign Valley Golf Course.
Ding ding, round 3. Oh my god,
how many public have we got for that, Andy?
It's not very many. I think it's about 16. It's about 16, I think. It's a small little, so right. Plenty of time to hold that trophy for everyone.
I will not be holding the trophy.
Well, returner.
I've already held it once.
Yeah. Steve.
Steve's there.
Steve's here. Bless his heart. So we're really stoked for that because that's a pro night, isn't it? So and obviously Cassie.
That'll be a mad night.
It's going to be a mad night. We're really
100% it will be.
Yeah.
That place is so active.
Yeah. Looking forward to this one.
I'll try and keep my paranormal Tourette's on hold for the night as much as I can.
But don't worry, Danny. I'm going to go and get some holy water just in case, babe.
Joanna can't wait for next week.
Oh, brilliant.
I was a bit disappointed, Ricky. You didn't get your ticket.
Yeah, no, Ricky and Elaine and Alison.
Yeah, because I think the rest of them are coming, aren't they, next week?
Yeah, Sandra, Joe. Just had something happen in my house. My lamp has just turned itself off. No joke. Well, at least something's getting turned on and off in your bedroom, Ricky. Sorry, boss.
It was a good gag. That was good.
I'm terrible.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So no, like Same Valley should be good. Like pro night. So that's really good. That's when you guys really come into your own, isn't it, on those pro nights?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean.
So, and where was you last night again?
Oh, well, I was at another new venue called Rochford Hall, which is down South End kind of area in Essex.
Okay.
That was so good. Very difficult event though for us last night. Very, very difficult.
Was it?
It was. The owners of the building had double booked. So of course, what had happened was we turned up to find that they got a surprise party on downstairs. So we were kind of battling against a very difficult noise barrier then. So made it a tough night, but we had a great crew there. We had the GHT Coven, which is like obviously Trudy's crew, like of the witches. They did a brilliant job last night. Honestly, it was a very difficult event because of the noise that we were playing up against. But that location is awesome. It's really, really good. So very old. The guests were by the end of the evening, we virtually had the people from downstairs coming up to complain about the noise that we were making because our guests were so up for it, and they were the tables were banging and everything like that. So
Wow.
And then we
had
we
lots
went
of
as a group
activity
over
with
to the graveyard
the table
opposite.
tipping last night as well.
Did you? That's the greatest thing when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's it's good.
Really
but
amazing,
we went
actually.
over as a group into the as a group to the church opposite, and that was really, really interesting because we had the SLS camera in there, and you could actually see this little girl, like stick figure, trying to open someone's grave.
Wow.
So that was quite interesting. So we've got that
Really?
video, so we'll have to post that up. But it looks like she's
That's quite interesting because we don't like often get outside when we're like out and about, do we? We're usually inside the buildings. We're usually in areas like to get out. There's only a few locations here and there we get to sort of investigate outside as well. So that must have been really cool.
Yeah, it was. It looks like someone actually Starkey's man cave. Yeah, so it looks like he watched that because I did a live from that as well, ever so late from that grave, and that was pretty interesting because there's a murder victim in there, a very famous murder of the area, Emma Hunt. So you could Google it to have a little look at the story. She had her throat slit, and
wow.
yeah, and what's really interesting. So it's a real interesting graveyard, but her grave just stands out. And there's nothing like what I would say special about it. It's very, very, it's just not big. It's not colourful. It's not, not gravestones are, but it's just a peaceful looking gravestone. But you're instantly drawn to it. And when we looked at that venue, we were standing there looking at this gravestone, not knowing anything about it. And someone that works at the church there just said that's the lady that was murdered. So you're absolutely drawn to this lady's gravestone. Very, very odd, but great location. And I think we're back there November time. But
sounds good.
Really interesting. No spiders. I didn't find any spiders.
Absolutely. So what have we got coming up? Some venues
we've got. Yeah, so obviously next week we've got Seine Valley with Craig and the Protein guys, so that'll be quite interesting. We have got a new venue, those down there, so we have got a really interesting new venue coming on that we sort of like teased people with a picture of a wall and a clock. Our guests and our Facebook followers are just too clever. They're honestly, they're just too clever. They can sniff out a historic building at 1,000 yards. So we are going to be doing the Powell Cotton Museum and Quex House, and we're doing that on the 13th of November. We're going to be
amazing.
The place is something else, honestly. So if you don't know what it is, basically Powell Cotton or Percy Powell Cotton was I don't know what quite the terminology for it is, but kind of he was a hunter. And literally, I think he went to Africa about 24, 25 times. And he literally just went out there and just brought back anything that he could. And this is including like animals, artifacts, everything like that. So in this place, there's stuffed animals. And I'm talking about like things like elephants, giraffes. The place is huge. And there is literally thousands and thousands of these stuffed animals. Strange feeling. And then, of course, you go into his house as well. So, it's an odd old feeling in that place. And, I mean, there's lots of things there that probably shouldn't have left Africa, like artifacts and things like that. So, but, if you're looking for sort of a real interesting one to go on, that will definitely be a great place to go and join us on. I say 13th of November. And as far as we know, it's never, ever been investigated. So, I mean, the people that run it have told us it's never been investigated. So that's really, really quite good. So can't wait. Great feeling there. But honestly, like everyone that when we just thought we'd just do that little teasing picture, everyone was on our case straight away. They just knew where it was. And we're going to have to work a little bit harder if we try and do those little teasers.
You have to start like putting them in like little jumbled up, and everyone's gonna have to like cut them out and like rearrange it.
Yeah. Or we could just test everyone's psychic ability. Just say we've been out today, looking at a place where we've been. That's literally just it. So, but yeah, so that's what we're doing. So we got another couple of venues that are kind of.
So have you been anywhere out this week?
Have I been anywhere else, like looking at venues? I have actually. Yes, I went to Warmer Castle on Friday. So that's a nice place, but I don't think we're going to be doing it. Just because of
no. So what other locations have we got coming up?
Right. So like kind of in the pipeline. You've put me right on the spot. I can't talk about a couple of the places because we're still doing contracts with them, but they're going to be places that you really really like. But I get the feeling that my flies are undone looking at the way that Di and Craig are. But we have got
He's frozen.
New venues coming up.
He's frozen. Oh, he's back.
I'm back. Yeah. No, what I was saying was I don't know how far we got, but we have got a lot of new venues coming on and some very unusual places, very very unusual places. So that'd be good.
When's Funland coming up, Andy?
Dreamland.
I think
Dreamland.
That's the 26th of November, I believe it is. It's on a Friday. That's an awesome place, honestly.
Yeah.
Awesome for like the fun fair part of it, but there's some quite to that place, so it's really quite interesting. So we can't wait. When we did the walk around of that place, we were picking a lot of stuff.
Laura's asked what happened at the Margate Hotel.
We're still talking to them. We have provisionally sent them over a date for the 25th of January. We are just waiting for them to confirm that. They've said yes, we can do it, but we're just waiting for that date to be confirmed because they are. We're going there in their closed time, but they're not exactly sure what their closed time is going to be. We are going to do it though, so there's no doubt about that, and that will be an absolutely awesome location.
That was when you've done the live that night. That was an absolutely brilliant live, and the activity that was going on there, it was just second to none, wasn't it? It was just like every corner that you turned, something happened.
Yeah, poor wife,
poor Anita, just throwing her in the deep end, be like, "Go on, you first." And from what I remember you telling me, you slept perfectly well all night as well, which was brilliant.
No, I felt like I was being strangled all evening because she didn't let go of me all night, to be honest with you. So, but that was good. I think she did pretty well. I mean, she works as a medium anyway, so it must have been driving her crazy because she doesn't really like the ghost thing. She likes doing what she likes doing, which is readings and things. But it's quite good. I'm going to get her somewhere else. Actually, I took her to the Theatre Royal on Friday night to go and watch a show, and randomly. You want to go there, don't you?
Boss.
Yeah. Well, I've got another date in March if you want to be on it. Randomly, we got the haunted seats just purely by chance. So of course I did the real gentlemanly thing and let her sit in that one. So that was pretty interesting. But we've got another. Yeah, we got another date there, I think it's 11th March.
Question. In a minute, once Andy's finished.
I'm never going to finish.
Did you hear that, Di?
Right, Dan, considering you've sat there and not said too much all night and that lot, because you've been a bit out of work and that lot, what locations have you got coming up?
Oh my gosh, what haven't I? I'm going to have to go to my calendar. So I'm at Scene Valley next weekend as well. I'm bringing my other half along, so Fraser's going to be there as well, which will be pretty cool. I'm at Manston in a few weeks, which should be good fun. And then I'm also, I think there's some bits for October. We've obviously got the mega Halloween weekend, where there are so many different locations where over that weekend I'll just go wherever I'm put. But where are we over the Halloween weekend, Andy? Actually, there's loads going on, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I mean, interestingly, Halloween weekend for you is going to be like where it all started for you. So Dover Castle.
Yeah.
We're at Dover Castle on Halloween night. The Midlands team are at Alcester War Memorial. Oh my gosh, I can't remember.
It's Alcester. It's
Ulster.
Ulster.
Sorry.
Andy,
do you know what?
it's Ulster.
It's what? It's because I'm down south.
It's pronounced Ulster. It is. You speak a bit foreign down there. It's pronounced Ulster.
Yeah. Well, we're going to that place that Ames is talking about. And then the one that I'm really looking forward to is that we're actually going to St Augustine's on Halloween night. We're doing because Halloween falls on a Sunday.
You're doing it like a work Friday one as well, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We're starting at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and going through. Yeah, it's great. Doing up till 10 o'clock.
Amazing. It is such a brilliant location, isn't it? And that chapel. There's some activity that goes on in that chapel. Yeah, that gave me the creeps.
Yeah, it is. But we're also
it's Master's office, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something else. But we're hoping that the Halloween Friday, that one of these new, well, I'm going to say super locations, and when I say like a super location, I club things like Dover Castle as a super location, and the big places. We've got a what I would call a super location about to drop, and we're trying to get that signed off for the Halloween Friday. So we're pushing hard to get it for that day. Believe me, we're going to be killed in the rush to get for people that want to go to that place.
Yeah, that will be
brilliant.
I know that location. That will be absolutely amazing if we get that. Absolutely amazing.
Craig and Di, have you got any locations? You got some up and coming locations you're going to be doing soon?
Well, we December, Andy, we're back to back. We've got Fort Wigley, Slough Fort, and we've also on the 18th of December the Haunted Antique Research Centre as well with Amy. But November's a little bit quiet, isn't it? November's a little bit quiet. But
it doesn't need to be.
Wow, this is what we.
I was just about to say. I was talking to Matt at the end of the evening last night.
Yeah.
And he said if you wanted to, you could come to the isolation and do a sleepover down there.
Mate, give me the date and I'll sort it out with Matt.
Yeah. It is. Honestly, if we pro night in there with Amy, Dee, Cassie, it would be. I can honestly say, hand on my heart, Danny, even I was scared in some of the areas.
No way.
Especially the woods.
Especially
the woods. Yeah, especially the woods.
Wow.
Because it was like, who's that stood behind me? The sensations was like waiting for something to attack you. I could easily say I felt like there was a pack of wolves around the circle. Outside, the energy was just like electric. And a few people have took photographs, and the orbs was just like a lightning storm. It really is. I can't even explain it. I'm still now trying to collect everything in my mind. What we saw and what happened last night. It was phenomenal.
Right, you know what?
Julie's on.
Go on, Craig.
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to quickly say, if Julie's on, Julie's got. Right, 2 seconds. Julie's got a phenomenal picture of one of the trees, and I've never seen so many orbs.
Yeah.
It was polka. The whole picture was polka dotted with orbs.
Yeah. It's definitely got to go on GHT.
Yeah. So we'll try and get
Evidence
Julie
page.
to post that.
We'll have to
God,
ask Julie for that picture. I haven't seen her pop any comments, but we'll definitely have to ask her for that, because she does get some incredible stuff at all of the events she comes to. And she's a great investigator as well. I was just going to say, like, it's testament to sometimes you can look at these locations and you can think, oh, that place isn't going to be haunted, because you may not have heard about it or you may not have recognized it. But like the work that Andy and Gary do in the background to kind of scout these locations, to have a look at what's going on, like they are superb locations. And I think just like to the viewers, to those that come on hunts with us who have never been on a hunt before, it's just a testament. So the locations you think have got nothing are loaded full of stuff. Like you look at the ice, it just looks like a normal building. It does not look like anything else. And as you're saying, there is so much activity that you found there last night. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it is. I mean, thank you. I mean, there is a reason that we end up in these places. Believe me, however tame they may look, we've done a lot of research and done a lot of time spent.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to say the Midlands have got some interesting locations coming up as well.
Where have you got Ames?
Well, on the 25th of September, we've got the Mill Street Barracks coming up.
That's good.
And then the 2nd of October, we've got the Emergency Services Museum in Sheffield, which is an absolutely phenomenal location. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
The 16th of October, we've got the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre, and that is definitely one not to be missed. Obviously,
I've seen some of the lives from the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre, and just seeing your lives that you do. I mean, that's not even being there, and I'm like, OMG. So that's going to be a cracking night there.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Amy, I want to ask you something. Amy, I want to ask you something about the Haunted Antiques. I want to ask you something about the Haunted Antiques for the 16th of October. Right, so for people that have been before, I know I can't say very much because I'm a bit sworn to secrecy, and I think you are as well. But if you've been before, it's worth booking again, isn't it? Because the Haunted Antiques is going to be different. Yes, it's definitely worth booking again. It's different. Yes. I can't say anything else because I'm sworn to secrecy, but it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, so am I. But it's going to be well worth going. It'll be well worth coming back to the Haunted Antiques because there's going to be a lot of changes happening. So I can't say nothing. It's going to be a surprise. So if you haven't been, you're going to have to book on.
Laura's just put, I want another live from there. It was good on the last one. It was a really good live. But mate, we probably need to wait until we've been there and investigated it and then do it after.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I might do a before live and then an after live. So.
Yeah, that would be because you guys. There's a crew night on the 8th of October, isn't there? Is it the 8th as well up there?
Yes, the crew. Yeah, Midlands crew are going to be there. Craig and Di and Cassie, hopefully, and then we've got some more of the crew coming to join us and that lot. So we're just having a team building experience.
Yeah.
Which we do every now and again.
Yeah, that'd be super.
Yeah, really looking forward to that.
That's good. So Craig,
definitely.
No pressure, mate. We need a date for the sleepover.
I think also, obviously, Midlands. Amy comes down to Dover. We've done Bristol. The clock tower at Warmley. We want to sleep over there. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Danny, you'd love it. Steve, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
I just can't. Really that was a really great location, Andy. That's like perfect. And again, Julie travelled up. She came and actually stayed with me, and we went there. And then the next night we did the live from Amelia Dyer Part 2. So it was that whole thing is just phenomenal. And obviously we need to do more as crew get-togethers. And it's like last night when we met Joe. There's so many crew members that don't want to say that are not active, but we're not aware of who's who and how many crew there actually is, and how many, like last night it was 3 locations that was going on last night, so 3 investigations that were with all different crews. Oh, just brilliant, just brilliant.
Yeah, that's good.
Sarah's asking, boss,
Definitely.
if guests get to do sleepovers, or is it just the crew? No, I think it's
Guests.
I ain't sleeping there where we were last night on my own, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we need some
I'm
guests.
in the car with the doors locked.
Yeah, so, no, guests are welcome.
It's everybody, Sarah.
But did you know that the Haunted Antiques, we do sleepovers? Like, we do sleepovers here at the Haunted Antiques. Teams come in either location and they sleep over, so I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah.
Hot chocolate before
Do
bed.
you think Julie would do a sleepover?
Oh, absolutely.
Julie.
Julie do a sleepover in the morgue at the isolation hospital. Don't think so. It's like saying making Danny have a sleepover in Sign Valley on his own in front of the trophy cabinets. You up for it, Dan? No.
Never.
Would you
I
like
wouldn't
me to
even
hold
lock
your
the
hand,
place
babe?
up on my own. I wouldn't even lock the place up on my own.
Right, we've come to the end of the show. Right, so has anyone got any final words before we end?
No, I just want to say thank you to all you guys for doing great events last night. Craig, honestly, mate, some lovely reviews and a beautiful review from a venue owner. So that was brilliant, mate. So thank you for what you do, and
Well done,
for your
guys.
pro night too as well. Yeah, that's good. Thank you, mate.
Credit where credit's due.
Yeah. And it's the
Like
same
we
for all
say,
crew members. To be honest.
Anyway.
we are a crew. We all do it for GHT. We are all family, and there's no egos. Egos get left at the door. No drama. Get in, do what you need to do, rock it, come away.
100%.
It's what we enjoy doing, and that is
You
what
can always
we do.
you can always tell a good night though, because you get up in the morning and boy, do your feet hurt.
Yeah.
Right. I got up this morning and my
And your
feet
lower
were
back.
absolutely killing me.
Yeah, lower back things. Yeah, definitely.
Lower back, Dilly.
I just wanted to ask
Right, I
Laura
want
a
to say
question
thank you to
quickly,
everybody.
because
Oh,
it's an important question. It's food related, so of course I need to answer it. I'm the resident food expert as well as historian at GHT.
Obviously.
Do you do whipped cream and marshmallows on top? Absolutely. You even get a sprinkling of chocolate powder as well.
Well, we had brownies. We had
Brilliant.
brownies, biscuits, cakes, crisps, tea and coffee, and even lemon sherbets were being thrown around in the crew hub last night.
I like lemon sherbet.
Yeah, slap.
That's why they were all hyper.
I did catering last
Right.
night. I did the teas at Rochford Hall.
Oh, lovely.
Right, I want to say thank you to everybody for watching. Sorry Trudy's not on
Thank you.
tonight. I think she's got something going on, something very special, so she won't be on tonight. But come and join us next week, and if you haven't booked onto an event, book onto it really quick, because some of these events are going really quick. Thank you everybody, and I hope to catch you all soon. Bye.
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 Bye.